Hey guys.
Hi guys.
Okay, so we are super excited and here's why. The Nick box, that's what we're opening up next. So this is an older box actually. It came out I think a few months ago.
I think you're right.
But we actually got contacted by the company and was like, hey, do you want to open one of these boxes? And I was like,
yeah.
A Nickelodeon box? Yeah!
Sign me up.
And we're huge Nickelodeon fans.
Absolutely. I love 90s. The old VHS tapes that were bright orange.
Speaking of tapes, I just want to talk about this box real quick. Before we go into Nickelodeon,
Exactly.
I want to talk about this box. How creative is this box? It's an old television.
I love it. It even has the old stuff on the back.
Yes, look at that. How sweet is
It
that?
reminds me of my grandma's big box TV.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of my televisions. Back when I was a kid, every television had the grates all over it. You put something on top of it and knock it over, and it would like land. It would spill inside your television, and your television screen would look really weird for a while, and then that would dry, and then your television would be fine. They don't make it like they used to anymore. Also, this box has stickers all over the box of... they're not all 90s, but most of them are 90s Nickelodeon, like Pete and Pete. I just want to say Pete and Pete was one of my favorite shows, and it never gets the credit it deserves.
Yeah,
I
wasn't a big Pete and Pete fan.
Why? It was awesome.
I don't know, but I saw Good Booger on here. I think I watched that movie a billion times.
Good Booger? Good Booger? Good Booger?
Good
Whatever.
Booger.
Pete and Pete. See, you're the problem, man. Everybody I talk to...
I'm the problem?
Yes, everybody I talk to is like, Pete and Pete. No, Pete and Pete was awesome.
I don't know.
Whatever. One thing about this box, though, it's expensive. It's $49.99 and you get one every 3 months. So it's one of those boxes, being that it's expensive, it's they only do it every like 2 months or 3 months. It's quarterly this time. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So let's take a look at this box and see what we're going to get.
Yay, open the TV.
I'm so excited. Alright, so inside of the box. All those logos from those amazing shows in the 90s are straight on the back of it, and then you can see hashtag Nickbox. But you can't see what's inside of it because they put some tissue paper down it. That's always a good thing. I almost want to like be blinded by doing this.
I just want to open it though and be blinded by all the greatness.
That's true, being blinded.
Let's go for it.
Oh my god! Oh, I see the Pete and Pete hat.
Okay,
oh my god! Okay. Yes. Okay, so here's the stuff, blah, 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 blah. It's not important right now. We need to see what's inside of this. All right.
Okay, I moved that so we
we don't want to see it. That's the spoiler. Okay, go for it.
You want to get your hat first?
I want to get my hat first.
Go for it.
The Pete and Pete hat, guys. This is the Pete and Pete hat. Okay. How many people are going to probably know that? Oh, it says to give inches of Pete and Pete on the side of it, too. Oh my gosh. Hello, Pete's brother, Pete. Oh!
You lost me there, honey. Honestly, I thought that was something from Grumpy Old Men.
Ah, another great show.
Like what?
Or Wilson. I think he wore a hat like this every once in a while. No, Pete and Pete, man. I knew right away. I like Pete and Pete. Like I said, no credit, man. No credit.
You're killing me here. You're so excited over it.
Yo, Pete and Pete, man. I want to go watch Pete and Pete. Doesn't get the credit, man. I'm just saying.
I'm
It's a
gonna
good
have
show.
to watch it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
You will.
Guys.
Okay, what else we got?
This looks like an apron from Good Booger.
Oh my god. Does it have the hat? Does it have that? Good Booger. Oh my god.
Good Booger, can I take your order?
Oh wow.
I guess you're supposed to wear it like this.
Oh, wow.
See here. This is so great.
Look at that. I don't remember it looking like this. I remember this.
I remember
things,
the stripes.
but it didn't have the logo.
This didn't have the, I don't think it had the logo. No,
That is so.
right.
Actually, I remember seeing on television not long ago that on I think Saturday Night Live they did a kind of a funny reunion with them on it.
Yeah, with Keenan and Kel.
That was kind of a fun thing to watch.
Oh my god, and Kel's orange soda. Of course, that's not in Good Booger, but I'm just saying.
And of course, Keenan's Saturday Night Live.
Right,
He's on
exactly.
Saturday Night Live, so they brought him in, and then they did another kind of thing.
We need some Mondo Burger stuff up in here, man.
Mondo Burger, yeah.
This is so fantastic. I'm so happy.
Speaking of Good Burger, do you remember the VHS of Good Burger?
Yes, I do.
We're dating ourselves now. But when VHSs were in the popular realm of whatever, the coolest thing was when you went to a we went to a movie rental store, they would all be normal. You'd see them just black or whatever, the occasional red. But you want to stay away from that area.
That's right.
Orange. There was that beautiful orange.
And that's where you ran to as a kid.
You knew it was Nickelodeon.
Like,
yes.
Mom.
I don't know if Good Burger was the first one to do orange with Nickelodeon, but it was definitely the one that I remember the most.
Yeah, definitely.
It was so cool. There's a lot of stuff in here, so I understand the price of it.
There's a lot of good stuff in here.
Yeah, I understand the price of it. Okay, so here we go. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Okay. Shrine of the Silver Monkey 3D puzzle.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Okay, this
we
is
have
cool.
to build this. I hope it's not a million pieces.
Okay, no, it's just it's actually just like the TV show or whatever you want to call it. Isn't there there's a movie coming out?
There's a movie coming out.
Or it might have already been out actually. I don't know.
I think you're right. I think it came out last
It's
summer.
like a TV show movie.
Yeah.
It's not like a legitimate movie or anything like that. But yeah, so of course, if you are Legends of the Hidden Temple fans, you know how this works.
That's right.
A kid would put it on wrong and you'd scream at him, and then you'd put it on backwards, and then you'd scream at him some more, and then you'd put it on there, and then you would shove the head on backwards, and then you had to find it and tell him go goof, and then the door would go goosh, and then smoke would come out. That was the Silver Monkey.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I wanted to go to one of these TV shows so bad. And I was actually in the audience for a Double Dare show once, but I didn't get picked to go up. I was so mad.
Yeah, I remember when they used to do that around, like at our fairgrounds. They did it. They would always bring, they'd bring a show. And
right.
I was at one of those.
My aunt took me to it. I was like, oh, Aunt Debbie, this is fantastic, but we never got picked.
Yeah,
so.
It was hard to get picked. It's because they always picked him. They pre-picked him.
I know. We were like,
pick
us, pick us, pick us.
But that's so fun, man. I would have loved to have a shirt.
Oh, me too.
Well, who was your team?
I like the blue barracudas, I think. What about you?
Purple Parrots.
Oh my God, I believe it.
All day. But they never won. Purple Parrots were like the worst. That's what always made me mad.
Yeah, they were always out first round.
I was really young, and the baseball team I played on,
we
were purple.
That's right.
We were the Tigers, but we were purple. And that was always what, like, I was like, I gotta go for the purple team.
You know,
and they lost all the freaking time.
If I'm gonna be honest with you, I was more privy to pick the one with the cutest boy. I was like, I want that team to win. Okay, so speaking of Double Dare, we have a pick it dispenser here.
That's the part in Double Dare where they have to pull the stuff out of the nose.
It's like that. Ooh, smell that. It smells like something out of your nose.
What is it though? It's a tissue?
It's a tissue dispenser. So you put this on top of your box of Kleenex and then you pull the tissues out of his nose.
That is funny.
Gosh,
what was your favorite game on Double Dare? Like, what was your favorite thing they did on Double Dare?
I liked this. This one was a lot of fun. At the very end, of course.
Yeah.
But I really liked when they had the basketball hoop or the net on the head and they had to throw stuff into it and splash and bust all over them. That one was fun. What about you?
The peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. True.
That one was really fun.
I'm keeping this forever and ever. Amen.
All right, so what else we got?
What we got?
We have a piece of the aggro crag.
Shut up.
You know, I remember when Guts came out and it was huge, and then Global Guts when it wasn't that huge because America lost constantly, honestly.
Right.
But I remember there being something like this that was for sale. Of course, it was a little more legit than this, although that's very bright. That's kind of interesting.
Neon.
Very line. But there was something like this that was it looked a lot more like the rock, the crag. That I wanted so bad, but I could never find it. I didn't even know where it was at. I think it was a real kind of rare thing, but it's really cool to have something of the aggro crag.
Very cool. You know, going through this box is really taking me back to my childhood, and I wish they would bring these shows back, like just revamp them and bring them back in some form or fashion, because I think they'd be popular again.
They have that Terry Crews special on Netflix.
Oh,
that's supposed to be
they
sort of
do.
like this, but for adults. But no, Guts was cool, man. I really liked it. Guts was the new Gladiators for us when we were kids.
It was for kids.
When we were young, Gladiators was like, it was cool, but it was like a generation a little before a little bit.
Oh, I loved it.
Like, it was fun to watch the
my
tennis
dad.
balls, and you got a lot of like the wrestlers and stuff.
And the people with the jousting.
But when Global Guts, or even just regular Guts came out, it was cool because kids are doing it.
That's right.
That was what was neat about it. All right, what else we got?
Okay, it looks like we have a flashlight from Are You Afraid of the Dark? This is so funny. I wonder if it works.
Nope.
No batteries.
Never happened. Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's just a regular
batteries.
flashlight that's labeled.
Yeah.
What's it say on the side of it?
It says the Midnight Society.
The Midnight Society. That's cool.
I forgot that was the name. This is fun. It's just a plain flashlight, but I'm kind of happy we got it.
You know, that was the thing about the 90s that was so great. If you guys liked scary things, and of course it's kids' scary things, you'd watch it now and it maybe doesn't really hold up. But back then, we were introduced to sort of, well, I mean, we were sort of introduced to horror by actually watching Friday the 13th stuff. But for the more
and
tamed...
Tales from the Crypt.
And Tales from the Crypt. But the more tamed back stuff, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Eerie, Indiana, Goosebumps. All this stuff, even Beetleborgs in a way. But we had so much stuff on television that was a little like, I don't want to say scary, but like fun scary.
It was stuff that just kind of pushed the boundaries, but still kept it clean because you're kids.
Yeah, that was something and All Real Monsters, of course, I have to say that. It was something that I really appreciate to this day, that there was so much of that stuff back on television. And I don't think kids have that these days.
I don't think so either. I mean, the only cartoons I really know about are like pre-primer cartoons like Paw Patrol and stuff like that. I don't really know of anything that kids are really into.
They just don't have it anymore. It's just not there, man. That's all it is.
Your cartoons today are not that great, guys.
But talking about Are You Afraid of the Dark, do you remember that creepy blue clown thing?
Yeah.
That was scary.
That was
for
terrifying.
any age. If they brought that show to an adult. So Netflix redoes everything nowadays, right?
do.
I mean, we've seen Full House. So the foundation's there on taking shows you watched and bringing them back in sort of a new format. Not a better format. I mean, I don't think the new Full House is anywhere near as good. It's okay, but it's not that great, to be fair. But could you imagine bringing Are You Afraid of the Dark back, but doing it for the adults now, but doing it scary?
That would be awesome, honestly.
I'd love that.
Okay, what else we got here?
Stick Stickly. Make your own Stick Stickly. Now, why is it so hard for me to, when I tell people like about my childhood and Nickelodeon, how much I loved it, I can't ever get people to know who the heck Stick Stickly was.
Really? I remember Stick Stickly.
The best thing about Nickelodeon back then was where you would call in to Stick Stickly. What was that called? It was during the summer. It was during the summer. I can't remember what it was, but Stick Stickly was the one who ran the show, and you would call in to ask for whatever show you wanted to see. It was kind of a new thing back then, where you would call in like radio does now. Where you call in, I don't even know if radio does that now, but back then you would call in and request something, and Stick Stickly was the guy that ran that. So cool, so cool.
I just remember him kind of popping in randomly here and there on TV.
Well, there was a show every summer that he did for the almost, I don't know if it was the whole summer. It felt like the whole summer back then. But yeah.
Summer was so long back then. Alright, we also have some Clarissa Explains It All stickers. These are funny. No brothers. Way cool. I remember saying that all the time.
So that's a show that really told what the 90s were.
Oh, definitely. This show was something so fun that my sister and I would sit and watch, and we would just totally rip everything off the show.
It really drove a kind of a culture back then.
It did, definitely.
Right? It was so almost like Blossom did in a way.
Yes, absolutely.
It was very kind of, that was the show every girl watched and every guy would admit they watched.
Right, you're right. That's so true.
But we all were like, her window was so cool. Like her bedroom was awesome.
Oh, we also have Clarissa's journal. I love that this is the old school style type of journal. I remember having that's the name of it. I had so many of these. And Harriet the Spy, mic drop. If there was some Harriet the Spy stuff in this, I would have lost my mind.
So speaking of the mead sort of, I don't remember what they call it, but all I can remember is like the elephant nubuck type look. But do you remember the starter Trapper Keepers?
Yes! Oh my god! I had the coolest Trapper Keeper because it had like all this liquid in it and it had like sparkles and so awesome.
The mood ones would come out. I did the NBA stuff, like the guys did the sports stuff.
Yeah.
So I had a Pacer one.
I went for the glitter and sparkle stuff.
And then finally, it looks like we have sort of a mermaid. No, Petunia. This is Petunia.
I don't remember that.
This is a tattoo on the arm. It took me a second. No, they put Petunia.
You should totally put that on your arm.
I was like, wait a minute. It looks like Little Mermaid in like sort of a red taco or something. And then I thought, wait a minute. No, that's Petunia. Pete, man. That's so cool.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Alrighty, so let's go over what was inside of this box with everybody here on the back of their little pamphlet. It says, number 1, Shrine of the Silver Monkey Puzzle. Assemble your own mini version. Everybody's going to get that. Everybody's going to get the Guts Aggro Crag statue. Of course, that's the statue they win when you win. Of course, it's a little bigger than that, but nonetheless
quite
really
a bit
cool.
bigger than that.
Yeah, it's quite a bit bigger than that. But that's going to be really cool for like a computer desk thing or something. Number 3, Pete and Pete hat. Little Pete's trademark red and black flannel cap. I love it. The Clarissa Explains It All notebook and stickers. Number 5, Double Dare Picket Nose Tissue Dispenser. That's so fun. Awesome. That's creative too.
It's so different. That's probably one of the top 2 things in this box for me.
And the top 3 obstacle course things too.
That's right, for sure.
Number 6, the Good Burger apron and hat. A very fun thing.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Number 7, make your own Stick Stickly kit. Do it yourself Stick Stickly kit. You dip, not included. Number 8, are you afraid of the dark flashlight? When it starts to get dark and scary, use the flashlight to light your own way. And number 9, finally, the Petunia tattoo. Flex your arm muscle to help Petunia dance. Okay, I'm a big fan.
This box has left me speechless. I'm so excited. I love everything in this box. It's just a nice trip down memory lane.
It really was. Maybe this box isn't for everybody. If you guys didn't kind of grow up in the 90s, you probably don't really even know what why we're even excited
You're probably
about.
like, what are they excited about? It's a tissue box that you pick your nose. Like, come on.
Or a small silver monkey puzzle.
That's right.
But you don't understand unless you were very young during the 90s and growing up in the 90s with so much of this stuff. What was your favorite item in the box?
My favorite item overall, I can't pick just one. It's an absolute tie for me. This is definitely a tie, but this Good Burger apron and hat is so cool. I cannot get over it. What about you? What was your favorite
This is the type of box I'm not going to pick a favorite item.
It's hard.
Mainly because this is a box that's been curated in a way that is not only creative, because this is something that I really find a good trait in a box when, you know, they don't just go grab something from the store and put it in the box. You know, a lot of box companies have to do that. They don't have this option for price reasons and stuff like that. This is a $50 box, so it costs a good amount of money, so, you know, they get a little more options. But I will say that the amount that you get for the price, the value is definitely there without a question, so long as you're a Nickelodeon fan.
Right, and plus with this box, it's spread out over a few months, so the price isn't so difficult. It's not $50 monthly, it's $50 every 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a price to drop it once, but at least you're not doing it every month.
Exactly.
You get 4 times a year, and I'm blown away with the box. I mean, I really do like everything. I love the gut statue. I love the silver monkey. Of course, I love the Pete and Pete hat. I love it, honestly.
The flashlight's really cool. Everything in this whole box.
The Good Burger. Yes. There was just nothing in the box that I
can't wait to use this. The entire time we've been filming, I've been sitting over here playing with this, like picking the nose. Like, I can't wait to use this. That sounded so gross. I'm so sorry, guys.
Now, like we said earlier, this box is actually old. It's like 2 months old, so you won't be able to get this one if you go to subscribe now. The next one up is Nicktoons Rewind. And speaking of the orange VHS, so there it was on the website. Love that. Nicktoons Rewind, so that's going to be interesting.
I hope we get some Hey Arnold in that box.
Yeah, I mean, Hey Arnold, Rocko's Modern Life.
Wild Thornberries.
Wild Thornberries. I was never a gigantic Wild Thornberries fan.
Really?
Not as much.
I really love that movie.
Ren and Stimpy, I really want to see some Ren and Stimpy stuff. But you can't go wrong with any of the Nicktoons, honestly.
No, not at all.
That's what's next, guys. So I think that will be in a month, because since this one's a little 2 months old and it goes every 3 months, it's probably going to be next month is the way I look at it anyways. Can't be sure, but that's going to be my guess. Alrighty guys, so this box looks like a box you guys might be interested in. We'll put a link down below along with some information, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks guys.
Bye.
Bye.